Hey folks, Jackdaw here. Get ready to strap on your N7 armor and rev up your Mako, because the next chapter in the Mass Effect saga is on its way. While BioWare is playing their cards close to their chest, I've scoured the extranet and uncovered some tantalizing updates, clues, and rumors about the next chapter in this legendary franchise. Though the game is still in its early stages of development, we do know that BioWare is sparing no expense to make it a truly unforgettable single-player experience. And while of course the future of Mass Effect is still shrouded in much mystery, there are rumors abounding regarding what we can expect from this upcoming chapter. Will we encounter new characters in a brand new fresh storyline set after the original trilogy's events, or will even more familiar faces like Liara return in new roles? And what about Mass Effect Andromeda's storyline? Could BioWare continue it, or will they explore new galactic frontiers? We're going to explore all of that and even more today. But before we dive into all of the details on the next Mass Effect game, let's take a quick word from today's partner. In the vast universe of Mass Effect, you travel to distant planets, make tough decisions, and face daunting challenges. But what about the obstacles you can't see? In the digital world, hackers, cybercriminals, and identity thieves are constantly searching for vulnerable targets. But with NordVPN, your online activity is protected from prying eyes, no matter where you are in the galaxy. With NordVPN, you can unlock content and access websites from anywhere in the galaxy, all while staying safe from malware with threat protection. Don't let cyber threats hold you back. Get NordVPN today and experience a safer, more open internet. There is a link in the pinned comments and my description for a discounted 59% off when you get a 2-year plan with NordVPN. Explore the universe with confidence, knowing that NordVPN has your back. Onwards to everything we know about the next Mass Effect game. On N7 Day 2018, BioWare shared that the Edmonton studio have plans for a new Mass Effect. Former general manager Casey Hudson shared in an N7 Day dev diary at the time that one of the best things about working at BioWare was coming into the studio every day dreaming about what the next great Mass Effect game will be. Bearing that in mind, a couple of months later, Jason Schreier revealed in a 2019 Kotaku report on the past and the present of Dragon Age 4 that after the Mass Effect series was put on ice in 2017 following BioWare's release of what many considered to be a disappointing entry with Mass Effect Andromeda, the next game in the franchise had since been warmed back up. And then on 7 Day 2019, Casey Hudson proved that by dropping a few concept art shots from the original Mass Effect trilogy on Twitter, sharing that the team has so many ideas for things they want to do in Mass Effect. So much concept art that hasn't been brought to life yet, and so many stories to tell. In another Kotaku report written by Jason Schreier, this time regarding the canned Anthem reboot, Jason reported that the next Mass Effect game is in very early development at the Edmonton office under director Mike Gamble, a longtime BioWare producer. Mike Gamble has been at BioWare since 2009. He has worked on Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, and Mass Effect Andromeda. Given his knowledge and experience with the Mass Effect franchise, he is certainly one of the best candidates helming the next game because he can adapt to the mistakes of Andromeda while carrying the charm and charisma the original trilogy brought. On N7 Day 2020, brand new concept art was revealed for the next Mass Effect game, titled The Mud Skipper, no doubt referring to this very small ship with XT8 on its side. The character silhouettes in this artwork also look similar to a Solarian, Drell, Angara, and someone else. The N7 Day 2020 blog revealed that a veteran team has been hard at work envisioning the next chapter of the Mass Effect universe. They are at the very early stages of this project and can't say any more just yet, but the team are looking forward to sharing their vision for where we'll be going next. Casey Hudson also shared a statement about Mass Effect representing years of work and countless special memories. So every year he feels incredibly fortunate to celebrate N7 Day with players around the world. Casey can't wait to continue their adventure together, revisiting favourite memories in the Mass Effect universe and creating brand new ones. Later on in November 2020, BioWare's Stories and Secrets from 25 years of game development released and shared a few insights into the next Mass Effect game. The book revealed brand new pieces of concept art for the working title as well as a description of the project. It stated, "Back to Space, a look at the next Mass Effect." On the heels of a long-awaited remaster of the Mass Effect trilogy, BioWare now prepares its epic return to space. A veteran team is hard at work envisioning the next big Mass Effect game. Expect amazing new worlds to explore with memorable characters buoyed by the series' signature choices and consequences. There's an incredible universe of history to draw from and many stories for us to tell. Project director Mike Gamble said, "We're focusing on creating something truly truly for the fans. In the book, the Mudskipper concept art also returned along with a few new conceptual pieces. And then in December 2020, despite his hopes and longing visions, general manager Casey Hudson retired from the studio. With Casey's departure, Gary McKay, the senior director of development operations, took over as the studio's GM. The Edmonton Journal reported that Casey Hudson's final day was December 11th, 2020, which was one day after BioWare revealed Dragon Age and Mass Effect trailers at the Game Awards 2020. Speaking of which, BioWare announced that Mass Effect will continue with a brand new, stunning, absolutely beautiful cinematic trailer that shook the entire fandom with screams of joy and tears of happiness. As a summary of the trailer's contents, because I have already broken it down frame by frame in another separate video that you should totally check out, we can assume that the next Mass Effect will be set in the Milky Way galaxy, with Liara Tassoni returning as some sort of pivotal role for this next adventure. As well as being a fan favourite, like for me, Liara is my ultimate favourite current Mass Effect character, Liara can also provide many ties to characters in both the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxies, considering she made herself known to the Andromeda Initiative, more specifically Alec Ryder, and of course many key Milky Way factions and figures, that being as a part of Shepard's crew and also as the Shadow Broker. Now within this trailer, more ties to the Andromeda galaxy were found, given this mysterious 6th arc that launched for Andromeda, however never arrived with the other arcs, nor was it discovered by Ryder. And finally, the trailer was populated with many influential and inspirational human-centered pop culture and history quotes, showcasing the development of humanity's space conquest and their increasing search for extraterrestrial intelligence since the early 1900s, up to the events of Mass Effect. I believe that this portrayed that humanity is still a central core to Mass Effect going forward, alluding to the next player protagonist probably not being one of the many races and just being a human, which is fine, but of course this is just speculation and assumptions made by me. There were a few other highlights made by Mike Gamble. Mike Gamble confirmed that there were Reapers in this trailer. Gamble said that it was intentional that the opening shot of this trailer had pointed imagery of two galaxies. They showed them both for a reason. And just like Mike Gamble, many Mass Effect trilogy veterans are returning to work on the new project, like Paris Lay, the cinematic designer of the trilogy, and Dusty Everman, who brought the Normandy to life, returning as a narrative designer. Now in 2021, previous global brand manager at BioWare, Hilary Heskett, took the leap and joined Mike Gamble on the next Mass Effect as a narrative producer, as she confirmed on Twitter. On N7 Day 2021, BioWare celebrated Mass Effect by giving us a brand new promotional poster on the next game. Not concept art, but an actual proper poster. As a quick little breakdown of this Geth-centered poster, I believe that this shows that BioWare has actually chosen one of the original trilogy's endings and has made it canon, which is something that many fans like myself have desired just for the future Milky Way galaxies narrative. So to culminate all of this together with the previous 2020 Game Awards trailer and this brand new Geth-centered poster, both of them suggest that the Geth and the Reapers have been frozen in ice, indicating the Destroy ending. Destroy was the only way to neutralize all synthetic life, which both the Geth and Reapers obviously are. It seems that BioWare is also exploring new ways to bring the Geth back, as indicated by this promo. However, it is also worth noting that the Geth were exploring outside of the Milky Way galaxy, so it is possible that this brand new squad showcased in this poster have travelled to a different galaxy to recover the Geth. Although this entire poster's vibe is kind of related to the trilogy's ending, this may not necessarily be the case. It's also possible that this Geth-like crater in the middle of this poster represents the remains of a mass relay, which could be the main questline of the upcoming game, to rebuild the mass relays by scavenging defeated synthetics technology. Regarding the poster, it's also possible that the squad has arrived at the crater to use Geth technologies for something other than reactivating or bringing the Geth back. For example, in Andromeda's early initiative training videos, it was revealed that the Geth had technology to observe the Andromeda galaxy, and actually the Andromeda Initiative used the Geth's technology to scout out Andromeda in the first place. This indicates that Geth technology is more valuable than previously thought, and perhaps the new squad is on the hunt for Geth tech to find Andromeda or other galaxies, bridging the gap between the two games and creating a sequel to both. This is my biggest hypothesis so far, but of course there could be many other reasons why the squad is looking for the Geth. They were powerful and intelligent synthetics after all. It is super cool though that this poster and the previous trailer can relate to so many different outcomes regarding the trilogy and also regarding Andromeda. Now moving on to the final story of 2021, VentureBeat reporter Jeff Grubb reported that the next Mass Effect may utilize the Unreal Engine instead of EA's mandated Frostbite engine. This information primarily came from an EA job listing for a technical director for the next Mass Effect game. The post stated stated that the publisher is looking for candidates who have, quote, experience with Unreal Engine or higher, end quote. And Jeff then confirmed through multiple sources that this is because everything is on the table when it comes to tech for a new Mass Effect, and that includes potentially replacing Frostbite with Unreal, which I think would be a dream. The entire Mass Effect trilogy was built on Unreal, and then since Andromeda, BioWare was mandated to use the Frostbite engine, which, as we know just from the shaky development of Andromeda and even parts of Inquisition and of course Anthem, Frostbite hasn't been too good for the teams. The teams are definitely more comfortable with it now since making 3 games of it, but even so, a return to Unreal would just be fantastic. Now, regarding Dragon Age 4, that is of course still being used on the Frostbite engine, as Jeff Grubb also confirmed. Now, moving on to last year, in May 2022, fans of the Mass Effect franchise were sent into a frenzy when the latest Mass Effect listing on the BioWare store made mention of Shepard returning. We've all been speculating about their potential return for years, but this very mere mention of Shepard's name on the store just sparked countless theories and discussions among fans, with many wondering how Shepard's return would be handled and what impact it would have on the series as a whole. This initial shop listing said, Shepard's final quest may have ended the threat of the Reapers, but at great cost, including Earth itself. While Shepard and the survivors are left to pick up the pieces, fans are left wondering what's next. Mass Effect will continue, and with the sneak peek poster we got from the BioWare team as part of the N7 Day 2021, there is still a lot to unpack, from countless theories regarding the setting of next game to the bewilderment on whether Geth would make a comeback. Eagle-eyed fans have a lot to make of this Mass Effect Mysteries from the Future lithographic. A Krogan and its 4-member team walk towards a Geth-shaped crater with a ship that resembles the Normandy, with SFX emblazoned on either side. All this along with BioWare GM Gary McKay's hints about at least 5 surprises within this poster will make this lithographic a great material for study, discussion, and endless pondering. Now, of course, understandably, this made all of us collectively blow our minds. Is Shepard coming back? What's going on with the Geth? We also have confirmation about a Krogan and a 4-membered team squad. However, the store listing removed that first paragraph and completely rewrote the entire part about Shepard, instead changing it to, the threat of the Reapers might have been ended, but at great cost, including Earth itself. While the survivors are left to pick up the pieces, fans are left wondering what's next. Just the very mention of Shepard and the survivors' return in this store listing has just made us all wonder what is going to happen to our beloved protagonist. And will they actually be making an appearance in the next game in the series, or was this listing simply a slip up on the store's part with no real meaning behind it? I don't know, I think that's too much of a big mistake to slip up on. However, that mere mention of Shepard there has just given us heaps of hope and plenty to speculate about. Now, in June, it was announced that Mary Delmarle has joined BioWare as their senior narrative director. The news was greeted with excitement and enthusiasm, as Delmarle is a well-known figure in the games industry, having worked on stories of such games like Guardians of the Galaxy and Deus Ex. Her experience and expertise in crafting engaging and also specifically sci-fi narratives is sure to be a valuable addition to BioWare. In October, when Dreadwolf had very exciting news about its development, having achieved its alpha milestone, BioWare also shared that Dreadwolf is not the only project in the works at BioWare. As the team revealed, they are also working on a new single-player Mass Effect game. The announcement promises a bright future, overemphasizing once more that BioWare are still committed to a single-player Mass Effect game. The N7 Day celebration in 2022 was also just as exciting, as BioWare released a brand new blog revealing concept art and a tantalizing clip that hinted at what the future may hold for the series, most particularly for Liara and the Geth. So first of all, this brand new concept art that was released depicted a breathtaking landscape that featured a combination of advanced technology and familiar alien races, including the Turians. The stunning visuals were accompanied by a quote from Liara to Sony. Her words, although they should know by now not to underestimate human defiance, added to the excitement and the anticipation surrounding the future of Mass Effect. Now, we'll come back to this quote later on, but Liara's credentials were also shown on this, them being a doctor, shadow broker, and then a redacted profession. Just overall fueling so much curiosity as to what's to come next, not just for Mass Effect, but also for Liara. What is she going to become next? That's just so exciting to see how much of a future Liara has in this series. Overall, just leaving me with so much more excitement for what's to come in the world of Mass Effect. And then we had this N7 Day 2020 clip that was an updated version of concept art that first appeared in BioWare's 25th anniversary book. This clip featured a sleek, snazzy spaceship with vibrant blue exhaust trails rails reminiscent of Mass Effect's iconic Normandy and Tempest vessels. Approaching the relay from the lower right, it's a safe bet that this beauty could be our new hero's new ship. Above this partially constructed relay's ring, colossal ships were hoisting pieces into place, underscoring that this isn't just a refurbishment, but potentially an entirely new mass relay. Potentially the Reaper War is long past, making it all the more intriguing to ponder why these new relays are being built. Are they going to lead to uncharted territories within the Milky Way, perhaps like the distant reaches of Andromeda? And this clip also had a caption in the bottom left that stated, "Vacuum Dock Relay Construction Record Monitoring Station operated by Green Dagger Limited, property of Deep Space Dahoy Sav, ship captain Sub Nafash Sayoral Zillion Jones. For interior use only, file bat." Now the name Sub Navash Sayora Zillion Jones definitely ruined that, but it sounds like a Quarian name, of course, and then somehow paired with a human surname with Jones at the end there. If that's the case, it's definitely comforting to see that Quarians are making their way in the future of Mass Effect. Now, most importantly, this clip featured a bit of audio, and that was a conversation between Liara and a Geth, which has just left all of us speculating about it. So, Liara's statement was, "I can see it. How did we miss this? Exactly, the Council will be furious, although they should know by now not to underestimate human defiance." Of course, that quote that we briefly explored before with the concept art. Now, this suggests that something significant has obviously been overlooked, the reference to the Council being furious only adding to the intrigue. It leaves us all wondering what impact Liara's discovery within this clip could have on the universe. Additionally, Liara's comments about human defiance also leaves us wondering what role humanity will play in the upcoming game and how will it impact the other races in the galaxy. And that brings us all up to speed on what is currently going on with the next Mass Effect game. The future of Mass Effect is super bright, with many of us so eagerly anticipating the release of the next game in the series. While details are still quite scarce, we have a good picture on what to expect going ahead, with new concept art featuring Liara and the Geth, many familiar races like the Turians, the Krogan, and the Quarians, and then even that very mention of Shepard's return in that BioWare Gear Store listing. It's got us all wondering, will Shepard have a role to play in the next Mass Effect game? Whatever the case may be, it's super exciting to dissect and have a deep look at what is coming for Mass Effect next. And regarding that future journey, of course, you're already in the right place for the moment we get more news on this iconic franchise. I have been Jackdaw, and I will see you all in the next one. But I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.